I am so proud of you, and I want you to know that you too should be so proud of yourself, because being here doing this thing called life, and I know you could say I didn't have a choice, but from a spiritual perspective, I have a contrary thought. I believe that you did have a choice, that as a little tiny light, a spark of all that is, a little droplet in an ocean, meaning that you are a child of God, of source of all that is, insert the deity of your choosing, that as a spark of that, you have a choice, and you had a choice. And this planet Earth is not an easy place to be. Look around. I don't think there's any debate there. Okay? So I'm here to give you a new perspective and to pat you on the back, but to mostly remind you that you need to pat yourself on the back. You're never going to get enough affection, love, attention, anything from another person. You have to learn to give it to yourself. Okay? Maybe you grew up in a horrible situation, or maybe you just grew up in a situation where your parents or caregivers didn't know how to share or express or give love. Maybe it was whatever it was. So you have to learn either way, as an adult, as a child, to love you. So if you're a tiny little spark of God, a little tiny being, then you have all that power and love and purpose within that little tiny bit of being, which is huge because it's soul, that you are. Meaning that if you are a child of someone, you carry them with you in your DNA, right? So if you are a spark, a little tiny spark of God, all that is, or a droplet in an ocean, then you are a divine being. Okay? That's incredible. Think about that. And as a divine being, you might want to feel that ocean of love. You might be drawn back to, and you don't know how to get back to that love. And I'm here to tell you it's very simple. It's very simple. Okay? Pretend you're a seed deep in the warm earth, and you're just kind of sitting there and you're waiting for it to rain, and it always does, so you get water, but then there's a little drought and there's not as much water, and you start to shrivel a little. So you notice that there's a seed next to you, and you're thinking, maybe I'll reach out and leach some of that water to sustain myself from that seed. But this never works. So this is the lesson. You cannot sustain yourself off of someone else's energy, vamping off of anyone, or leeching or taking that water, draining them. You will simply shrivel them up, and then they will be nothing. Okay, there'll be nothing left of them. And then you'll go on to find a new seed, and eventually there will be no seeds to take from, and you'll have to deal with your own self. And how do you find the water? You look within. Remember, you're a divine spark of all that is. So how do you find the water? You well for it, you mine for it, you open your seedling heart, and you talk to all that is, Source God, insert name of deity of choosing, whatever you wish, and then it flows to you. And you don't need to get it from someone else. And now maybe you're the opposite, where you see someone else needs water and you just freely give it, and then you shrivel up and they take. So don't be that either, okay? Everyone needs to learn to self-sustain, because in this imagery, we are all seeds of God, of love, of divinity. So we're also different types of flowers. So there would be really kind of boring world if all we had were roses, though they're gorgeous. I mean, what about the wisteria and, the dahlias, the snapdragons, the hyacinth, hydrangeas, carnations, lilies, etc. We need all of the diversity. And so if you are vibing into one being who was a master, who knew many spiritual lessons, one droplet of water, then great, go for it. But all that is all of it. So that's why I say source God, all that is, because to name just one master, I feel is naming like one big droplet of water when you could get the whole thing. So consider that you're the seed and that you don't need anyone else's water. You can totally self-water, and I'm so, so proud of you. You're here, you're doing it. And all those good things that you're doing for yourself that you know feel right, that are good for you and for others around you, that's amazing. And you know what? There's so many unsung heroes because this world idolizes people who do the wrong things. You know, the teachers are not the ones getting the good cash payouts, okay? It's definitely not them. It's people who are selling products that are ridiculous if you look online. Oh my gosh. But the point is that you need to pat yourself on the back, okay? You need to pat you on the back, but I'm patting you on the back and saying, you've got this. Never give up on yourself. And it's not always easy here, but you just keep watering that seed, and one day you're going to have such a beautiful flower bloom that all the rain that comes down is going to fall on your little leaf, and it's going to trickle off and help others. This is how it works. So as one person raises their consciousness, then the rest of us do too. We get watered. So keep on loving yourself, and I'm here to tell you, you have got this. If no one else has told you that, I'm telling you. And tell it to yourself. This is the most important thing. You don't need anyone else giving you any accolades. It's you from within, okay? Tell yourself that. Love yourself. Water your seed and watch it bloom. It doesn't happen overnight. And if you have a lot of darkness inside of you that the light has clouded out, know that no matter what you've done, you still have light in there. And it's just waiting to be watered. And the darkness will clear once you start watering it. And it doesn't clear when you're hurting others or when you're leeching their energy. It only clears when you take care of your own. I love you guys, and I hope that you keep loving, loving, loving on yourself. And then when you fill your own cup, it's just going to naturally come out to others in a very steady, even way that works for you and them. And yeah, remember, you are a drop of divinity in the ocean of all that is, an expression of God experiencing itself, a child, if you will, if that feels better to your sensibilities in this now moment, a child of divine. So you have the DNA of divinity in your soul. Think about that. It's incredible. All right. Love you guys.